Ready? Okay. What's up, you guys? Welcome to For the Love of Money. I'm very excited to be bringing you this quick and potent money mindset training. My goal for you is to feel refreshed after this money mindset training. I think that there's a lot of really good money mindset teachings in the coaching industry, which is amazing. But at the same time, I think that there's also a lot of really confusing philosophies around money. And so my goal for you is to feel amazing when it comes to money and not feel like money mindset is something that is confusing or something that holds you back. So I'm going to be taking you through some things that really helped me and have helped me over the last few years as I've been building my online coaching business that have made me feel absolutely lit up and excited around money and not heavy when it comes to money and money mindset. Let's get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about and kind of bring you guys in as an understanding of my philosophy and my kind of way, and this goes against what a lot of money mindset coaches talk about. I don't think about my relationship with money. I don't. And so this is something that I want to start this training off by saying is I think that when we come into the online coaching space, it's normal to think that we should be thinking about our relationship with money. A lot of people think I need to understand money. I need to feel, what money is really like. I need to there's like this energy and this idea that we have to have this weird relationship with money and this understanding of money. And I just don't believe it to be true. So what I actually focus on is not thinking about my relationship with money. I focus on having fun in my business. I focus on service and selling. So I focus on doing the things and doing the practical actions, but also making sure that I'm connected to what I'm doing and I'm excited. And I'm excited to charge for my services and I'm excited to sell and I'm excited about being happier. I really do believe that money mindset work really is about us being happy and being excited and being connected. And when we are focusing on that, not only are we going to be happier and healthier in our businesses, but also it's really magnetizing, right? So the more happier that I am and the more excited that I am, you guys feel it and you feel my energy, and that makes you want to buy and come into my world. So I want to make it very clear, I don't focus on being happy and serving to make money. I focus on those things because it makes me feel good, and then a byproduct of that is just more and more money. So I suggest that you maybe let go of some certain things that you think you need to be doing to work on your money mindset and actually just focus on love and happiness in your business. You're going to be more creative, you're going to be more lit up, and you're going to notice more people come into your world and sales will skyrocket, not because you're trying to journal or reflect on your relationship with money, but because you just feel good. So something that I have done since the beginning, since I started my business, and something that I still do is I track money every single day. So I track like my month to month. What am I making in January, February, March? I track pretty much almost every day where I'm at for the month. So I think that this is not only good for a practical sense to know how much you're making in your business, but this is so good, and this is one of the biggest, most important things that I would suggest for any coach, whether you're starting on day one or you're seasoned, is to look at money and constantly be keeping track of your money. Yes, for the practical things, and I'll talk about that in a second, but more so, we have been conditioned that looking at money is bad, or we've been conditioned to believe that having a certain amount of money or making a certain amount of money is good or bad, or we're conditioned to feel that we need to have a certain amount of money in our bank account to feel good. So when I started my coaching business, I was used to, only having $1,000 in my bank account, and then you pay your bills and then you don't really have much and then you get paid again. So I was used to being comfortable with a certain number that I was just used to for many years. Then when I came into the online coaching space, I started to invest so much money. So much money was going out, and then what was comfortable in my bank account was way below that, and I had to sit with the feeling of not being comfortable with how much was in my bank account. And then the opposite started to happen is then it's like I was starting to make more money, and so I would see that number go up. And then I would make big investments and that number would go down. So it's so important to track money and look at money consistently, because basically it makes you have to feel the feelings that you feel around money. And this is just required in my opinion. And the best money mindset work that I believe we can do is be able to look at a number, be able to look at our finances, be able to look at how much is coming in and how much is going out, and your bank account go up and down, and you to feel the feelings. The thing that is uncomfortable is not feeling good when we don't have the money we want to feel, but it is required to sit with those feelings so you can be okay, because the truth is money is always going to go up and down. We're always going to be investing and spending money. Money is going to be coming in and out. So I highly suggest looking at your money regularly and tracking your months so you can get comfortable seeing it be a high month and then seeing it be a low month, and then not feeling so good because it's a low month, and then having all the feelings that you feel because it's a low month, and feeling like you're not good enough, and just sitting with all that shit to show yourself that you're okay when the number is low. This is required. Whether your months are 100 and then 300 or 10,000 and then 50,000, this is required, I believe, at every single level. And the reason that I'm really highlighting this is because it's easy to avoid doing that because you don't want to feel bad, right? If you know the number in your bank account right now makes you feel insecure and just not have a good feeling, of course you're not going to look at it. But I suggest, exposing yourself to that number so you can feel the feeling, and eventually you show yourself that you're okay. Right? So one, looking at the numbers consistently allows us to be okay with the numbers fluctuating. But then also the more practical side of things, it helps us be consistent. If you really want to consistently hit certain amounts of money every month, I just do believe we have to know where we're at, right? It helps us be consistent. It helps us see, if we're on track and evaluate month by month. So I think that practically it's so good, and energetically to just notice our feelings is so good. Now, this is where there's a fine line, right? In the coaching space, we see other coaches, I do it, we celebrate month to month. In the coaching space, and I don't really see any other industry really track and celebrate month to month the way that we do. So it's really fun to have monthly goals and to look at money by month and have monthly milestones and whatever. But there's a fine line, because it can become very toxic if you are only defining your worth or only defining your business growth by month to month, because let's be serious, your business can still grow in a year, even if the first 3 months of the year you see lower months. So the energy here and the work here is to be able to track month to month in an exciting, positive way, but not, fall too far on the other side where you all of a sudden feel like, oh my God, after January, it was a lower month, my year is gonna go to shit, because that's just not true. So I love this energy with money, because in the short term, it's really fun to play with, ooh, can I hit it again? Or can I make more this month? But we don't want to go so far in that we're attaching month to month to it equaling if we're growing or not. I talk about this a lot on my social media, like most of my Januaries, 2019, 20, 21, even 2022 were like lower than the previous months, but my years always grow. So the work is to track, but not be so attached to the month by month, and still have the longer term energy with money and growth as the foundation. There's a fine line, because we want to hold energy with money, right? We want to believe that tomorrow you can make $10,000 in a day, right? We want to have that energy and that possibility, because that is possible, and that's part of money mindset work. But also what's practical is if you had a low month and you have bills to pay for your business and for your life, then you're going to like not spend as much, or you're just going to be extra cautious. And again, this is a fine line, because I think a lot of people who talk about money mindset are like, oh, just believe that you'll make money tomorrow. But like you can't surpass the practical things that are just true. And so something that, you know, because of what my parents taught me is to be good with money, is I've always been practical with money. So I know what's in my bank account, and I know what I'm spending, and I know generally what's coming in. So it's like mastering the practical piece, but also being open to anything can happen. You can sign a pay in full 50K client today for sure, but it doesn't mean that because that's possible, we should just let go of what's practical. So I really believe that we should all find our own balance of the practicality when it comes to money, and just like knowing that anything is possible. It gets me really excited to know every single day, every moment, anything is possible. At any moment, someone can find me and want to pay my highest package thing. Like, so that's an energy that makes me feel really, really excited. And then the other energy is, well, I have things in place that I know I'm going to do, and I have, you know, programs that I have to show up for and sell. So practically, I know I'm going to check off these boxes and most likely make X amount. But then it's like, ooh, this is so exciting because anything can happen beyond that. So it's like not being too far in the energy only, and not being too far in the practical only, because then you get caught up. It's the fine line of the balance of both. So one of the things that I want to debunk is basically a lot of money mindset coaches or whatever talk about how you should be able to feel what it's gonna feel like when you have more money. So you might hear some coaches or people say, imagine what you think your life is gonna be like, or imagine how you're gonna feel when you make more money or when you have more money. And basically the philosophy is like, you know, like law of attraction, like feel it and then it will happen, right? And I totally get that, but I don't believe that to be true. So I'm gonna share a quick little story. In 2019, I was making consistent 40, 50, 60K months that entire year. And that's incredible, right? Then I was at the end of that year, I was like, I feel like I'm ready to make more. Like I'm ready to make 100K a month. Like I feel like I'm ready for it. Why is it not happening yet? And I thought that I had to imagine what my life would be like having that much money or making that much money. I thought that I had to get behind what that would look like and feel like. I thought that I had to know exactly what I was gonna do with that amount of money. Like I thought that I had to have all this clarity around it. So I almost like forced myself to think about, oh my God, like what would you spend the money on? And the thing that tripped me up was I didn't have the answers. I didn't know what I was gonna do with more money. I didn't know what I wanted to spend it on. I didn't know what it would even feel like. And so I spent a lot of time and energy trying to do that because I thought I had to. And then I realized this isn't working. I couldn't connect to it. And so I realized I didn't have to have those answers, and I let go of trying to find those answers. And by early 2020, I started to have 100K months, not because I knew what it would feel like or not because I got behind it energetically, but I just believed in the energy of I'm gonna make more money over time, and I detached from how it was gonna happen, and then it happened. So if you're someone right now who you are like journaling on what it's gonna feel like to have more money, or you're putting a lot of time and energy into trying to get behind it and you feel like it's just not connecting and it's just not landing, I want to give you permission to let go of that. You are going to make more money because you have a business that's set up to make more money. You're going to make more money because you're showing up consistently, because you believe that you're going to, and you're not attached to the outcome. That's how it's going to happen, right? And I also just want to give people permission of like, you're allowed to make money and not know what you want to do with it. You know, I think that a lot of people, and that's great if it works for them, of like, when I have more money, I'm going to buy this, or I'm going to do this for my company. I didn't have those answers. And so there was even a period of time where I was making that money and we were really just saving it and investing it because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet. And so you don't always have to know exactly what you're gonna do with it. You don't have to know what you're gonna feel like when you have more money, because the truth is it isn't always that black and white. And I guarantee if you let go of this belief that you need to have those things in place, you're gonna free yourself and you're just gonna have more space and you're gonna feel lighter. And that's how you're gonna eventually start to make more money. Another thing that I want to debunk for you guys and just kind of give you permission to let go of is it has been taught that if you're not making sales, or if you're attracting people who don't have money to buy or just can't afford your thing or whatever, it has been taught that your energy is repelling sales. It has been taught if you're not making sales, it's because your energy is off. Or if you are attracting people who can't buy, it means something bad about you. And I've had so many clients come to me and say, Steph, my program isn't selling. Is it because my energy is off? Steph, someone inquired about my package and they said, I can't afford it. Does that mean my energy is off? No. I don't believe this. And it's not even that I don't believe it. I have had bad energy and I've been in a negative mindset and I've still sold things and I've still made money. So yes, we want to feel good around money and we want to have a positive mindset 100%, but I don't believe it's that black and white of like, oh, if I'm having an off day and I'm feeling off, it doesn't mean that I'm repelling money. I believe that sales and money and people always come to us, but the truth is there's always going to be people who just, for whatever reason, can't afford something or it's not the right time. And that is just something separate from our own energy, right? So a lot of people, I think, make the mistake of, I'm going to do money work and I'm going to feel good so people buy. I have had the best days and felt the best, and people still say I can't afford things. Okay. I've had bad days and days where I felt off energetically and people come in and sign up for a big high ticket package. So there's a few things here. One, give yourself permission to be a human and have good days and low days, and nothing about whether it's a good day or a low day is necessarily attracting or repelling something from you. You get to receive no matter how you're feeling. That's just the truth, right? And I think that the other thing is we want to focus on feeling good so we feel good. Don't focus on, I want to feel good so I make money. Feel good so you feel good. Money is going to come to you no matter what. Now, with this being said, I'm very clearly saying that you can have low days and high days on how you're feeling with money. However, it is our job, it is your job, it's our job as leaders to be in integrity. So what doesn't feel good and what doesn't make sense is for me to, it doesn't feel good for me to sell a package that I've never paid. So for me, integrity feels like if I'm going to ask people to pay a certain amount of money to me, I feel good having spent that before because I know what it's like to spend that. Right? Being in integrity means you practice what you preach. Being in integrity is if you're going to market your offers and say things like invest in yourself and go all in, and you're encouraging people to do that for you, I hope that you are practicing what you preach, right? And it's not so you can receive, but it's so you're in alignment and so you are in integrity, right? And so that's where I think a lot of people are missing it, right? If you want to have pay in full clients out of nowhere, if you want to have, this attraction vibe, you get to have that. But I think that there will be an added piece for you that'll be really beneficial if you're checking in with yourself and asking yourself, am I practicing what I preach? When I say to my community, go all in, do the thing, like be the leader, I always double check with myself, am I doing that for me? Am I doing that for my business? We always win when we're leaders. We always attract people when we are paving the way. So it's like to be that because we are leaders, and to do that without an expectation will be huge, right? So one, I want you to remember that it's not as black and white of like, oh, energy is on or off, and that's why you are attracting things or not attracting things. But two, I want you to be in integrity with your money and with yourself as a leader. This will be a game changer for you. we need to stop trying to justify our prices and how much people are going to pay us for it equaling a certain package. So in most jobs are like a salary and you get paid X per hour and X per thing or whatever. In the coaching space, we are defining a whole new industry and a whole new way of charging and a whole new way of how people are buying. So there's going to be this battle for a lot of people, depending on what you've been through in the past, of like, oh, I feel bad for charging this amount, or who am I to charge this amount, or whatever stories happen, right? This is just our own responsibility to work through. However, I believe if you want to have a business that is not only making a lot of money, but you want to continually be evolving and redefining your own standards of how much that you can receive for the work that you're doing or the courses or the offers that you have. And at the same time, you want to be helping other people redefine how they invest and how much they invest. We have to, I don't want to say just let go of the old stories because it's easier said than done, but it's like to have that vision of you want to receive as much as you want to receive, and you want to redefine a standard for an industry, and you have the fears. Your vision and goal should be stronger than the fears that you have. So when I started, I had a lot of fears around who am I to charge $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000? Like, who the hell is going to pay that? Like, these numbers were out of this world. So I had those fears, but I didn't let those fears stop me. So my journey of redefining my energy with money wasn't just trying to redefine my energy with money by my thoughts. I was doing the practical things even when I had the fear, or even when I had the guilt, or even when I couldn't fully get behind it. So one of the best things that I think that we can do for our money mindset is to take the practical steps even when we're scared, or even when we don't believe in ourselves, because that's the only way to show us that we can debunk that fear, or that fear isn't true. So if you feel scared to raise your rates, or you feel like, oh, no one's gonna buy it, show up and raise your rate, or show up and sell at your new price. Show up and sell your offer even if you have a fear. The only way to really recondition that thought and that fear is through the practical action. So I see a lot of people spend a lot of time and energy trying to change the belief first and then do the practical action. I actually believe it's the opposite. Do the practical action, then you're going to change the belief. I've done that pretty much since day one, and that's not only why I think I've been growing so fast, but because I also think that that's why my beliefs have changed so fast too, is because I'm not trying to change the belief first. I'm showing myself that I can have the practical result and prove that belief wrong, and then the belief changes, right? So money mindset isn't just the journaling and the thoughts and the reconditioning of the patterns in our mind. It really is the practical things, right? Even things like paying taxes or paying bills or whatever it is. A lot of people avoid doing those things because we're conditioned to think that they're scary or bad or whatever, right? And so at the beginning of my business, I remember like being terrified and going and paying like my first 10K tax bill, and I was like, oh my God, this is so terrifying, but I just like go do it. And I showed myself, yeah, this feels scary, but also it's okay, right? So the way that we're gonna get over a lot of fears or negative beliefs around money is by just immersing ourselves in them, right? Don't wait to change the belief. Don't wait to feel better before you do something. Do something. That good feeling will come on the other side. Okay, so these are the 5 main focuses that I have around money, and I'm very excited to share them with you because I think a lot of them are gonna hit home. They're really simple and they're really fun and expansive, but also practical at the same time. So 1, it is my belief. Even when I didn't believe it, I worked on believing it, and now I fully believe it, and there'll be a day in the future that I believe it even more. But it is my belief that I can have anything that I want. It is my belief that I can always have more and I can always receive more. It is my belief that there's nothing that we can't have. There's nothing in the way from you having more money, from you receiving more clients, from you having more reoccurring income. There's nothing in the way from you having your highest ever cash day today. There's nothing in the way for you having your biggest ever month this month, your biggest year. There's nothing in the way. We think that there are things in the way, and then we get tripped up in thinking this thing is in the way, or I think this, or I can't have this, or whatever. There's actually nothing in the way. So I believe, and I invite you to think about, what would it be like? How would you show up in your life, in your business today, if nothing was in the way from you receiving what you wanted to receive? How would you show up today if you knew today was going to be the highest ever cash day in your business? What would you do? How would you show up? How would you sell? How would you dress? What would your energy be like? Like, if you focus on that, waking up every day, like, if today is going to be the biggest day, what would you be like? One, that's not only going to allow that to become a reality in your truth, but two, you're going to have a hell of a lot better time showing up in your life and your business because you're going to be happier. This is the biggest thing. So anytime I feel myself getting down or overthinking, I bring it back to, I know and I believe and I trust that I can have anything. Nothing is in the way. And so I detach from needing to have the thing that I want now, and I focus on, if today was the best day of my life, if I knew today or tonight at 7 p.m. I was going to receive whatever it is that I'm dreaming of receiving, how do I want to live my day leading up to that moment? How do you want to live your day leading up to that moment? Shift the energy. You're going to have a hell of a lot better time. You're going to be happier, and eventually you're going to get more and more and more than you ever thought even possible. The second biggest thing, and this is a tricky one, this work, this money work, this belief work, this energy work is about holding the faith and the trust of, I'm gonna get what I want when we don't see the results yet. Holding the faith of, this could be the biggest day ever, the biggest month ever, the biggest year ever, the biggest launch ever, but you don't see the results yet. The money's not coming in yet. It's really hard to believe in something that we can't see physically in front of us. But this is the point of believing. This is the point of trust and faith and courage and bravery, is I believe it even though it's not here yet. I feel it even though it's not here yet. I know it and I trust it even though it's not here yet. I trust my program is going to fill even though there's 0 spots filled yet. I trust it's going to be the biggest month of my life even though the numbers aren't showing that yet. I feel it and I believe it and I trust it. It's really easy to be like, no, it's not happening. Screw it when we don't see the results. But I invite you to be stronger than those thoughts. Be stronger and be more excited about the belief and the possibility that it can be. And then that's when we start to do things that actually attract more, and we're just happier along the way. So when you notice yourself dipping and not believing because you don't see the tangible results yet, remind yourself, this is the point where most people fall off and most people say screw it. But ask yourself, am I stronger than this doubt? Is my desire to have it stronger than this fear? If yes, you kick yourself back up, get into a higher vibe state, do something you love, treat yourself, go shift the energy. You will be happier and you'll have a positive mindset, and eventually you're just going to quantum leap and make more and have more and keep expanding your belief. I also truly, number 3, believe that at any moment, anything can happen. There are so many, I wish I knew how many seconds in a day there are, but there are so many moments and seconds in this day, in this training, in this morning, in this hour, in this week, in this month. It takes 1 second for someone to say yes. It takes 1 second for money to land out of nowhere in your bank account. It takes one tiny shift. That's how it happens. That's how your last client signed. That's how your last client came through, just like this. It takes 1 second for something to shift. Think about all the payments that have ever landed in your bank account and in your business. Those are just the accumulation of 1 second after another second. Imagine if you just started having more transactions come through each little micro moment, and those add up over time. So anytime something feels slow or it's not working, I remind myself it takes 1 second. Slow down time. The day is not over. The week is not over. The month is not over. The year is not over. Slow down time. Bring yourself back into the moment. Like literally breathe, be present. Slow down. We're in a rush all the time. So one of the biggest things, right, for me was to slow down and be more intentional and be more present. So I notice, oh my God, this happened. Oh my God, this just happened. Oh my God, 2 things happened in the same hour. Wow, so much has happened already. There's so much time still left in this day. It's so easy to close off and just think the day is over, the launch is over, the week is over. I suggest that you bring more awareness and slow down time. And just what I mean by that is be more present in each moment. You are going to notice how much you receive. You're going to be more grateful and be more excited. And you're going to open up the possibility of like, wow, there's still so much more time for all of these small things to happen, because it only takes 1 second for something huge to shift. I encourage you to continually stretch your limits and basically be on the edge is what I call it around money. So as soon as you start to make more money, or you have a higher cash day or a higher sale, or you adjust your prices and someone buys, every time that we do that, whether it's $50 more, $100 more, $10,000 more, we are stretching our limits. So this is really what I call like playing with money. So I play it in the thought in my mind of like, what if I make more today than I made yesterday? What if today was the biggest day in the history of my business? What if this week was the biggest week? What if this tiny offer accumulated $20,000? Like, I play with the energy of what if, and I don't stay within the realm of only what's possible and what I have evidence of happening in the past. I play in the realm of what if this happened. So I play in the realm of this hasn't happened yet, but what if it does? And it's just kind of playing in this what if energy to get yourself excited, right? It's boring to be like, well, I hope I make $100 again, just like I made yesterday, and I hope I did this, and I hope I did this. Like, stretch yourself. What if you made 200 today? What if you made 2,000 today, 20,000 today? Like, stretch the energy. That's gonna keep you activated and on edge. And then eventually you're gonna be at 2,000 or 20,000. Then you're gonna be reaching for 30 or 50, right? And so I think that it's our job, if we want to continually make more money, to just play in the energy of what if, get excited, add the practical things on top of extending like your energy output to receive more, and that's going to allow you to stay excited and receive more. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is something that I've always focused on as I've been building my business, is not always having to hit milestone after milestone. So it almost seems a little bit counterproductive that I'm suggesting this after I just said stretch your limits. But this is why this money mindset work is a lot of like the fine line of balancing multiple energies at once. So what I mean by that is anytime that I've hit a new milestone, I've gotten really excited, and it's the energy of like, yes, like I'm growing and I want to do more. But instead of rushing to hit the next milestone, I focus my intention on, can I do this again? Is this, am I able to repeat this, right? So I see a lot of people make more money and then they assume that they can just start making more money because it randomly happened. Instead of doing that, yes, acknowledge the belief of like, oh my God, this happened. I'm expanding how much that I can make. But instead of rushing to the next milestone, I focus on, ooh, can I do it again? Can I do it again in a shorter period of time? Can I do it again? So this can I do it again energy allows me to be better at what I'm doing, aka I know that worked. So let me show myself that it can work again, and then I'm gonna refine the things that I need to. We do it again, And then of course, it's still possible that we can hit that number and beyond. So I think that we lose some intentionality when we only focus on, I need to grow all the time, because we're not perfecting the craft. And I mean this practically in terms of like the strategies of how we're selling and how we're showing up, but also energetically of like, oh, I had a big month. What was my feeling like? What was my energy like? Let's see if I can hold that again. So we get better at refining the important things instead of just rushing to hit something again, and then we're not perfecting our craft. So I believe that with intentionality and perfecting our craft and focusing on, ooh, let's do it again, we get better at what we're doing. And then whether we hit the same number or go beyond it, we're eventually just growing anyway. So it feels like sometimes like a frantic rush to energy to always be focused on the next milestone. And I think that it's going to feel lighter for you, and it's going to help you build a stronger business to focus on doing things again. And inevitably, you're going to hit milestones quicker and quicker because you're getting better at what you're doing. One of the other things that I just really want to highlight during this training is if you focus on selling your offers, if you focus on building an audience, if you focus on building good offers, if you focus on a lot of the tangible, practical strategies of making money, you're going to make more money. I think that a lot of people focus a lot of energy and time doing money mindset work, but money mindset work, in my opinion, is not a money-making activity. Like, a money-making activity is feeling good, showing up, selling your offers, and making good products and having good client experiences. You're gonna make money because of those things. So yes, we want to focus on how we're feeling. And of course, if you have an awful relationship with money, like that, you want to put time and energy into working on that 100%. But what I don't want you to do is spend all of your time doing that, and then you're not actually generating money in your business, right? So I think that there's always a duality. It's like, notice your beliefs, notice your thoughts as you are taking the practical action, but don't stop taking the practical action, or don't wait to take the practical action until you do all this money mindset work. I just am seeing a lot of coaches sometimes stay stuck, or even people beginning their coaching business think that they can't make actual moves because they need to do all this money mindset work. I was sucked into this a little bit at the beginning of my coaching business when I saw a lot of coaches talk about money mindset work, and I was like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be spending a lot of time, on my belief system and journaling and all these things. And I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just saying that it's really easy to fall into doing all of this work and then avoiding the practical things. So my biggest takeaway for you is to go immerse yourself in doing the things. Notice how you're feeling. Always work on feeling better for yourself, feeling happy. Always work on expanding your mind and believing that you can receive more and more money, but don't avoid the practical work. For the love of money, I think that we should stop putting so much pressure on ourselves to have to do all of this unnecessary money work. Focus on being excited, having fun, forward moving energy, and doing the practical things, being open to endless possibilities, showing yourself and leading yourself first, being in integrity. But what I don't want is you weighing yourself down, thinking that you need to do all this unnecessary work. If you know that you have a belief that's not sitting well within your body, and it's a negative belief around money and it's holding you back, I want you to write it out, look at it, and don't necessarily try and reframe just the belief, but go take action and show yourself that the belief is wrong. This will be something that will change your belief, but also you will get the practical results at the same time. So my homework for you is to watch and listen to this training over and over again, but every day I want you to just think about, how can I expand my money energy? How can I prove any beliefs that I currently have around money wrong? And don't just think about it, go and do something to shift the energy. Go take action in your business, go work out, go talk to someone, go listen to this, go dance, go shake it out, right? Like, we really just want to create a better feeling in our body and then go reframe the thought in our mind as we are doing that. This is really how we shift things. So don't get too caught up. Go have fun. Go show yourself that you can make anything happen today and do it over and over again.